read that. Got that one out. Okay. Here are 10 5-star predictions from me. I'm going to divide this into 2 sections, new releases and backlist. Let's start with the new releases. There are a few titles that I am super excited for, and I hope that they will be 5 stars for me. Ashley Winstead kind of goes back and forth for me. I have loathed some of her stuff, and I have loved some of her stuff. And This Book Will Bury Me is coming out on this date. And I am hoping this is a 5-star read because the premise totally intrigues me. This is not a video about the summary of these books. This is just me saying I will enjoy this one. I don't know much about this one. I think I read it and I've forgotten about it, so let's move on. I also have The Dark Mirror by Samantha Shannon. This is the 5th book in her Bone Season series. I have loved her series so far, and I am really, really hoping that this one comes back to form and gives me a 5-star. The Night and the Moth intrigues me. I love the cover. Now, I have kind of avoided this author. One Dark Widow. I can't remember which one it is because I always read it the wrong way. It's supposed to be one of those like darker romances, and I just was like kind of lukewarm on it. This one, something about the cover. I am a sucker for a night. And I don't know what it is about moths right now, but moths seem to be everywhere, and Academy for Liars had a moth on the cover. I had to look up symbolism for moths to see like what's there, and apparently moths are just drawn to danger. They fly to the flame and they incinerate themselves. So somebody's drawn to danger. We'll see. All right, backlist. I have on my list of reads for this year a number of ones that I believe will be 5 stars for me. The first one is The Garden Against Time. This looks fascinating. It is a nonfiction. It is about a woman restoring a 17th century garden, I think, and exploring the idea of who gets to enjoy gardens. Garden Spells. This one I have had on my list probably since 2012, and it keeps popping up and it goes away and it pops up and it goes away. I need to read it. It's like a legacy story. There are sisters, there's some disagreements, and they have to figure out how to look after this special garden that has special properties. And there's something about it that makes me think it will be a very good read. The Grace of Kings. Still don't know what this one's about. This is on my top 10. This is probably the #1 fantasy that I want to read because I'm the returning of the Queen of Fantasy. I want to get back into these chunky epic fantasies, and this is one that I see recommended absolutely everywhere. This better be a 5 stars. And I'm pretty sure the people who recommended me Richard Swan recommended this. So please be a 5-star. I also have The Bridge Kingdom. Who's this by? Danielle L. Jensen. Yes. I really liked her first book in the Songbird series. And then I liked, what was it called? That Viking one that came out last year. It was fun. It was just fun. There's a gal that I follow, Julie something, and one of her favorites of all time was The Bridge Kingdom. So I want to read this one. Is it a romantasy? I have no idea, but it looks like just a fun fantasy, and Danielle's writing always just breezes by, and I need some of those in my life. You know, I need to just balance just a little bit of this with some fun. Malice by John Gwynne. Again, it's one of those books that everybody who reads fantasy seems to have read, and apparently it reads really quickly and is wild and is fast paced and is just incredible. And it's one of those ones that makes you like you can't take a breath. And I want something like that. I want fun. I want just absolute gosh darn fun. One that's maybe a little bit heavier, Jade Legacy. This is the third book in the Jade trilogy. I was sort of on the first book. I really liked the second book. So we'll see if the trajectory goes up. I think the only reason that I didn't really like the first book was that it felt really slow. The world is cool. The characters are cool. Like the whole setup and premise and stuff is cool. The plot was a little bit slower, and I think that's where I struggled. And from what I hear, there is a bit of a time jump in the third book, so we'll see if that helps propel the story forward. Either way, I'm reading this one last, and it's just gonna be good. I have so much hope. I have so much hope. Come on, 5-star gods. And the last one is kind of a random one, but I had it on my list last year and I didn't get to it, and that's the Dead Cat Tail Assassins by Jelly Clark. Now, I am also hit or miss with him. I was sort of on, was it Ring Shout? But I really liked his Jin story that I'm going to put right here that I can't recall, but I really liked that one. So he's sort of back and forth. Oh, and I really liked the tram car, the Haunting of Tram Car 60 or something. I really like that one. So he's kind of hit or miss for me, and I'm hoping this is a full-on hit and going to be one of my favorites. And that's it. That's my list. I sort of blasted through that. This was sort of just like a throw together concept, but I want to be able to look back on this at the end of the year and see exactly how correct I was or not. I'm all over the place these days, so we'll see how we go. Until then, my name is Karen. I'm the Book Libranaut. I read all types of books. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.